Hey everybody, Jimmy from Superpath here. Thank you so much for checking out this tutorial series with our newest partner, ButterDocs. Designers have Figma, developers have GitHub, and now content marketers have ButterDocs. This is a really cool product. I'm very excited about it. Not only is it a nice place to actually get your writing done, but it's also purpose-built for teams to work together. So writers, editors, clients, stakeholders, etc. It's built for these people to all work together, collaborate, provide feedback, etc. You'll see all of that. Rob gives us a demo. We go through each part of the product and show you how it works, how you can fine-tune it for your own processes. It's great stuff. I think you'll really like it. If you want to check it out, you can get instant access. Just go to butterdocs.com/superpath. You get 30 days totally free. If you do want to upgrade, you can do it for just $100 a year. That's 70% off the list price. And if you want to just continue using it for free after that, you can use 3 documents for free as long as you like. So go check it out and provide feedback. Part of the reason that ButterDocs is working with Superpath is so that they can learn what content marketers want out of this product, and they will build it in. So please do provide your feedback to the ButterDocs team and help them build a product that is exactly what you want. So again, it's butterdocs.com/superpath. Thanks so much for checking out these videos and enjoy. So Rob, we could talk all day long about workflow and collaboration and all that, but like at some point, a writer has to sit down and they got to write. And if you're like me, you can't write unless you like cleaned your office and then like cleaned your whole house and then like take your dog for a walk, you know, and then like do all these other things that like create this environment, get the music right. And then it's like, you know, something happens, you have to stop anyway. So like, you know, a lot of us would be better suited to do like more productive writing with the right tools, right? Like one of the things that I think probably prevents me from doing more writing is just like, I know how difficult it is to like sit down, focus, have all these other tabs and things going on, part of which ButterDocs solves, but there's actually a whole another set of features that is designed specifically to make the environment very comfortable and productive for writers. So that's what we're going to dive into now. So can I hand it over to you? Like tell us a little bit about that. You know, obviously Google Docs doesn't facilitate any of that. So this is like, you know, this is like some green grass here. There's a lot that can be done here to make it better for the writers.
Yeah. First off, you know, the title of this one's maybe a little clickbaity, but it's true. Like we've talked with a number of writers, and what they've shared with us is because we've, you know, intentionally built ButterDocs to be a writing environment that you not only enjoy writing in, but actually has built-in kind of productivity capabilities and features. That they are getting this type of result. You know, they are writing 50% faster. The number I've been told actually a couple times now is around 500 words an hour to around 750 words an hour. And that is, you know, without AI. So I put in AI because, you know, there's a lot of content out there about how you can write faster and do more things with AI.
Yeah.
Of course there is. Like, we're in the age of AI. We're going to be exploring how we can use AI in ButterDocs. We're excited to explore that with you guys, our users. But we believe that there's just fundamental operational and like technology reasons why you're being slowed down. First off, Google Docs isn't really like designed to help you write faster. Like that's not what it's built for. It was built to be this really universal catch-all document editor for organizations to use in many, many, many different ways. And so they're not exactly going out of their way to say, how do I put in very specific features just for writers? So that's one thing. Like that's never been their goal. We're not afraid to say it out loud because they're not going to change it. You know, if they change it, maybe they'll buy us one day, but like they're not built for that. Right? They're built for editing documents and making it easy for people to come in. So since we are building this solution for writers are our number one, we are baking in productivity features and workflow to help them be more productive when they're writing, right? So I wanted to talk about like, what are the pains, like what's actually slowing writers down whenever they get to writing. So in that last video, we talked about simply like, how do I incorporate and reference the research and reference the outline? The kind of status quo of what most writers have to deal with is you have an outline like way further down the document, or you have your research way further down the document, and you're going to have to scroll up and down to write in the draft up here, look at the outline down here. Maybe you create a copy of the outline and you're kind of writing through the outline. I've also seen that, but then that kind of removes that bird's eye view of the outline and the full kind of context of what you're trying to do. And then in terms of referencing research, you're probably having a lot of like browser tabs open and clicking around to those browser tabs. So best case scenario, you need a couple monitors to make that work really well. And instead of really being zoned in on writing and that kind of special time that you set aside, you finally find some time to write, you are having to do that scrolling, that clicking, and then kind of do that context switch over and over and over again as you start writing. So that's something that we are just eliminating with ButterDocs and how you actually reference and look at your research and outline. We reviewed that in the last video, but again, a quick little snapshot of that is you can look at just your writing just like this, but you can also open up the outline here on the left, pin it, always see your outline, and you can always see your notes as well. Opening notes, click here, see your notes on the right, and just start writing and referencing both of those. So that's probably like the most impactful thing you can do for your focus is that move alone. The next thing I wanted to show you is just a few more of the productivity features that are just baked in, and they're not baked in a way that's like crowding the screen or like feature bloat like you might have with some other software or like in Google Docs where you have a ton of different formatting features and kind of a little bit of feature bloat. Not quite as bad as Microsoft Word, but still like it's noticeable, right? So let's dive into some of those other ones. I wanted to talk with you about, show you how you can really make the space your own. So let's go back to the document view. I'm going to unpin the outline and the notes. And right now, this is like the default view for any writer when you come in. So if you look at a clean document, it's just the blank document with the placeholders for the blocks, right? I want to make it my own, so you can just go up here to the settings and you can adjust a few things. You can adjust the zoom. So I like to be pretty zoomed in. I can see what the writing looks like. Let's go back here. You can be really zoomed in. If you like, that helps you kind of focus in on one line at a time. The other thing I do, I'm a dark mode kind of guy, so I'm almost always writing in dark mode. So you can adjust between light mode and dark mode.
It's calming.
Yeah. You can adjust the document font. So right now, we are starting with the bare bones of document formatting, and that's on purpose. We want you guys to tell us what formatting we need to make your writing easier. Our focus is on helping you write faster and make your writing easier and the writing process easier. So we're not going to flood the screen with a ton of different formatting options. We're going to let you tell us what we need to do there. Right now, what we have is the ability to change the font on the document level. We have PT serif. If you want to look, more like, a book, we have a mono font, like a typewriter or a script, and we have Enter. Obviously, as a content writer, I like to be an Enter. Sometimes I do PT serif. We are coming out soon with the ability to change the headline fonts and also change the alignment of the headlines. So we are adding a few more formatting options soon. We can also change how that formatting shows up. So you can do either a pop-up formatting palette like we have here, or make it to where there's a formatting palette kind of down here at the bottom of the screen at all times. I prefer it being out of my view and doing the pop-up personally. So that's how you can really make it your own a little bit more than you can with Google Docs, at least. Find like a comfort zone for how you like to focus in on your writing. Now I want to show you some specific features focused on focus and productivity. Now you also see on the right-hand side the actual word count of the whole document. So you can always keep that in view. In Google Docs, you're going to have to go up to tools and then word count and kind of disrupt your flow a little bit. So you always see if you need to write 1,000 words or 1,200 words, because that's the assignment, you can always keep that in the back of your mind. You can also select text, and it's going to show you the words in that selection.
Oh, nice.
Let's move back to light mode for the rest of the demo. So in the left-hand corner here, we are baking in kind of a few ways that you can do writing sprints. So if you click on this timer, you can do a timer, like you can do a Pomodoro timer or 25 minutes, or you can say, I want to write for 60 minutes straight. You have a blocked off time. You're going to set that timer and it's going to be visible at all times in the lower left-hand corner.
I like that.
It's not like in your face, but you can easily glance over and see how much time you have left.
Yeah, I like that. That makes you think about like where your time is going if you're not writing.
Exactly. You can also set a word countdown word sprint. So say, hey, I want to sit down and write for 1,000 words or 100 words. You can set that timer or that word count. And it's the same thing as the timer. Now, every time I write, that ticker is going to count down in the bottom left.
That's really slick. I mean, I've seen like Pomodoro timers and things like that, but I've never seen a word countdown. I think that's a great idea.
So we reviewed adding on a word sprint, whether that's a timer countdown or a word countdown. We also reviewed how you can see your word counts always in the bottom right-hand side, and then how you can select text to see the word count of that selection also in the right-hand side. But say you really want to focus in on your writing, then we recommend going into full screen mode like we have here, and then using focus mode. So bottom left-hand corner, you click on focus mode, and it's just going to strip away everything else. So when you're ready to just really get down to your writing, hit focus mode and just write.
Nice. Yeah, it's so clean.
Now you're into your writing now. Like you're excited, like it's all clean, it's in the right color scheme, it's in the right fonts. You can see your timer, you can see your word counts. You're really focused in. Maybe you have your notes open on the right-hand side as well. The other thing that really slows writers down is just themselves. It's just they get in their head, right? Like it's self-editing while they write.
Yep. It's got to be perfect the first time.
Right. So like I'm very, very, very guilty of this. I'm starting to write and I'm like, the intro has to be perfect. So I'm writing the first sentence and then I'm deleting it. And then I'm writing a full thing and that doesn't work. And I'm going through many different iterations. And what I'm doing through that whole process most of the time is just deleting and then rewriting.
Right.
And you could tell like a little bit of you dies each time because you had a few good ideas every time you did it, but you don't really have a place to put it, So maybe you have a stash document, you put a good line, but you're not going to really pull out from that document again to reference into here. Or maybe you put it way down the document in kind of your rough writing area or something. You have a special area in your document for it. But again, it's very difficult to kind of reference that again. So what we do to solve that problem and really just help you free write, like that's what you should be doing when you go through your first draft, just free write, get ideas down, is whenever you see something that isn't quite a fit anymore, or it's just like, hey, I don't want to go this route anymore, you can stash it. So you just select it, hit stash. It's going to go into the stash, which is over here on the right-hand side. And you can see it's saved in kind of this repository called the stash. We can name it, great idea for later. And if we find a place for it that works really, really well, we can click and drag it back into the content.
That is awesome. That's a great feature.
So, I mean, it really just helps you like just free write, just keep going. You have great ideas. They aren't a fit. Don't delete it. Save it for later. You can reference that stash when you're done. You might have 5 other ideas for other content, like right there in the stash.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic idea. I love that because I bet a lot of writers do a similar thing where they, cut it out of Google Docs and put it in Apple Notes or somewhere else, like come back to later, but then you kind of forget. But this is built natively. That's such a nice feature.
What we're trying to do is help you just not worry about, putting words down and worry about, things being in your view or how much time you have left. You can just focus in on your writing. You can see your notes on the right. You can see your outline on the left. You can see how much time you have left. If you're, need to save something for later, don't delete it. You can save it in the stash. You can get into a flow and not have as much worry about whether you're writing something perfectly or not. Later on in this series, in this next lesson, we're going to talk about in ButterDocs, you don't have to worry about any type of words going missing. So whether you are afraid of an editor, deleting out text, or you're deleting out text while you're self-editing, those words can be saved. You can save it in the stash, or it's going to automatically be saved in our version control that we call snapshots. And we're going to talk about this in the next video about how we can do draft management and reference any past version and recover any past version or any past edit. So that's something in ButterDocs. You're never going to lose any word that you write. You have unlimited undo. So a little teaser for the next video.
It seems like ButterDocs has really greased the wheels. Like if you're a writer and this is your job, it's time to write. Like this is such an easy place to do it because all these features are surrounding you, like helping you move forward, make progress, get the writing out, which is fantastic. The next phase of this is getting other people involved. It's editing, which we've talked about a few times. We're going to go a little bit deeper on the next video. That's when things for a lot of teams, I think, start to go awry. And so we'll look at some of the ways that ButterDocs helps teams alleviate a lot of the pain around editing. Hey, and thanks so much for checking out these videos. ButterDocs has been an awesome partner of Superpath. We really appreciate their support. Again, you can go check it out, butterdocs.com/superpath. Get instant access for free for 30 days. And if you want to upgrade, $100 for a year. Thanks so much. Take care.